Dizzy's not a spitter.
No, Dizzy's a spitter.
No,
Dizzy's a spitter. No. Dizzy's a spitter. Bro, you can't say Dizzy's not a spitter.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Jump Off TV UK's Behind the Scene. We're joined by Chucky, Teeth, Snips, Lala, and we've got two special guests this week, Marina and Merkage Dave. Today, obviously, what we're going to be talking about is Kendrick Lamar sending the whole internet into storm, and we're going to put a little UK spin on it as well.
When I heard the first verse that Big Sean did, I said, rah, that's actually one of his best verses ever. Because I don't really rate him like that in terms of lyricism or anything. Then when Kendrick came and did his thing, I was thinking,
what did you do?
Like, why did you just not delete the song, or you know, like just take your verse off, give it to DJ Khaled?
Did it leak? Was that supposed to come out? Or did that leak?
No, he put it out.
It was meant to be.
Jay killed it as well, but no one got that far.
Yeah, nobody cared.
I didn't.
Nobody cared.
Because the whole attention was on the whole diss thing. That's where everyone.
But that's the thing. When people say Kendrick smashed it, half the people saying it. Firstly, half the people saying it don't know why he smashed it. They just think it's cool that he called everyone's name. Yeah. Secondly, none of you paid attention to lyricism 3 weeks ago. You were all listening to Migos and fucking French. So shut the fuck up.
and Chief Keef.
We don't want to hear you talk about lyrics because you don't know anything. Shut the fuck up.
All right. Snips is really angry about that. But I'll tell you what was interesting for me, yeah? It was when he actually mentioned that he's like the king of New York. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, for me, I was like, rah. Obviously that felt like a slide to ASAP and that, because obviously his sound wasn't exactly like, come on man, you gotta think, he didn't come up with, his raps weren't like the typical New York sound. He was trying the South kind of flex,
that's
you know what I'm saying?
No, but that's almost a diss to the big homie as well. You're saying you're the king of New York, but
he mentioned that, he said Nas, Eminem and thing.
It wasn't like he just said, I'm the king of New York. It was part of a line where he was like, something about being the greatest from the West, the king, basically saying, I'm the best
I'm
out.
killing it now, yeah.
So saying New York, East Coast, South, whatever, I'm that guy, innit?
Yeah,
so it wasn't like he was dissing New York. I understand why.
No, he weren't, I'm not saying he was dissing New York.
No,
I'm saying that
like
in his mind, I think he's saying, I'm letting you know, big homie, you're not excluded from this as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm better than you as well.
He said Nas, he said Nas.
Wait, hang on, what were you saying, Laura?
He said in the barbershop, that's what they're talking about. So
he didn't call out Jay. He excluded him, Nas, Eminem, and who was the other person? Was it Andre 3000? He excluded them. He's talking about the so-called rappers who were supposed to be the next hot thing. He's calling them out. It's like, J. Cole, if you're this amazing person or amazing rapper, then let's do this properly then. Let's be proper lyricists. Let's put it out there. I'm coming for you. You're my friend, but I'm coming for you. To get back to the basics of what hip-hop was about. And it was about that. It was about friendly competition. It was about battling. It was about going head to head, mano a mano, you know, just really going for the jugular, and in a friendly way. Obviously, nobody needs to die over a couple of words, but everybody wants to prove that they're the best, and that's what hip hop, that's what lyricism is based on.
It's funny how it's like, it's not even been a week yet, and I'm really fucking tired of the responses, man. That's just me. I'm like, there's get the fuck out of here, man.
So what? None of you want to hear a response from the actual people who got name dropped?
Yeah, Drake.
Yeah, Drake. I would like.
Why Drake?
Because he's the only one that can really fuck with him. Like nobody else can.
Are you actually saying it?
Yeah, no, Drake has got the technique. Drake has got the technique, bro.
No, listen. No.
Hang on.
You just hear what he just said.
Alright, cool. Hang on.
Say that again. He just said.
I'm not saying Drake is better than Kendrick.
Drake is the only one who can fuck with him.
No, but there's a difference.
When I say fuck with him, I mean play the same sport.
But there's a difference.
The rest of them, I'm not saying Drake's better, but
Dave
he's
speak,
the only one who's got the ability to actually go toe to toe with him.
Drake is the prince.
J. Cole, no, come on, man. J. Cole and Kendrick.
Yeah.
No way.
No one would let me talk, man. I had so much to say, but they wouldn't let me talk.
100%.
But Drake is the Prince of Moisture, yeah. Everybody knows that. But that said, bruv, he's got technique, bruv. Like on every level, he's got technique.
So, from the responses to Kendrick's verse that I'm waiting for is J. Cole's. I know it's not going to come, but that's the one that I'm most excited to hear, because I think lyrically and stylistically he's probably the one that's closest to taking Kendrick on head to head.
The one thing that I do like about this whole thing is that a lot of the good rappers, the ones that are good with lyrics and putting words together and whatnot, I felt like it was getting too friendly for a bit. And Kendrick has kind of reminded everybody, I'm cool with you, but I do want to be better than you. When you look at the Kendrick freestyle, ultimately what Kendrick Lamar did is he did bring out people that were at the top of their game, but You know, I think if you ask Kendrick Lamar personally that he thought was at the top of the game, he would have mentioned certain people that wasn't actually in there, like Joel Ortiz and whoever it may be in terms of borrowers and stuff like that.
Do you think battle rappers influenced this? Because you see the whole smack movement and shit, like that's creeping into the mainstream a little bit.
Did anyone hear Papooses one? Papooses one was probably the most direct in my opinion in terms of battling. Not the best, but in terms of slaughtering him.
I think it's
Budden chewed his face off. Budden, Graf, and Joel Ortiz.
Do you know what? Do you know what I liked about Joel's? It's not even just all of the things that Joel said, yeah? It wasn't just the thing that Joel said.
Lyric for lyric, Graf is one of the best.
People sleep on Graf. They sleep on that.
But listen, yeah? Not just about just all of the stuff that Joel was saying, but I kind of like just the turnaround. His one came out within an hour and a half. So bearing in mind, the song came out, you gotta think, yeah? He's now gotta get up out of bed, put clothes on, make shower, clean your body, put clothes on, go to the studio, get the engineer to turn up the mic and all of these type of things, and then write the thing and do it. He did that within an hour and a half.
I think that obviously if he wasn't mentioned on that record, it's a straight diss, like you're straight disrespected. The fact that all those people were mentioned, everybody's saying that it's a shot at them. No way. He's got respect for those artists. He's trying to become better than that artist, and you've got to respect an individual who does do that, and he certainly has my respect for that as well. Do we think will a rapper from the UK, could they ever drop a verse like Kendrick has?
Oh, could they drop one?
In terms of what?
As in mentioning and name dropping as many people as he has.
There are rappers that are good enough. I just don't think they're good.
But the thing is,
alright, so the question is then why? Is it because it's smaller?
I think it's because it's a lot smaller though.
The scene is developed to a different degree. So like, you know, we're like 10 years, 15 years behind the Americans in terms of what, like there's a whole history of beef and actually rappers dying for that shit in America. Whereas here it's like people are still jumping on.
You're right.
Can I just say, I could see what you're trying to say, but not entirely, because look, if you see what was happening to Grime, man, when Grime was coming up, it was pretty much our version of hip hop. Like it came from nowhere. It came from the States. It came from the poor kids. It came from the fucking like descendants of immigrants. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. In grime, there was beef all the fucking time. As I explained on the underground level, things are possible because when everyone's all aggy and it's real shit, it's actually real life altercations and real life hatred for each other, motherfuckers gonna say what they want. But when it's on like a lyrical like skill level, when it comes to music, I don't think the people that are in the public eye right now really want to get competitive to that degree, because a lot of them ain't ready and a lot of them don't want to kind of even jeopardize their clout or their profit that they're kind of making right now if they happen to be ones that are considered whack.
Did anyone ever call out, like, I can't think of a track, well, 15 guys in one track?
No. Look, in grime, yes. In grime, yeah.
I'm trying to think, bro.
But now, I think today,
people calling each other crews, they were calling crews out. Like, there was beef with
but everyone like
but it's different though, because say with grime, it wasn't well known in the UK for everyone. Say now, if somebody like Tiny or somebody like Wretch or somebody at that caliber was to call out someone, they wouldn't. But the question is why? Why wouldn't they? In terms of the UK scene, if somebody was to do that here, I think nobody would go out of their way to name drop 10 to 15 artists from the UK because of how small this scene is. Obviously the US scene is absolutely massive. Here, much smaller. Everybody's too likey and they want to build on their relationships. They want to eat as much as they can from that bread that everybody's got to share.
If Wretch wanted to call someone out, who's Wretch going to call out in the mainstream? In the mainstream, in this UK industry. Who else can spit in the mainstream? Wretch and Pro Green, that's it.
Okay, well, in terms of mainstream,
Wretch will chew his face off.
You're right, but hold on 1 second, because I will say something. Are we talking about mainstream in terms of like selling records, or like people who's got deals and that are on, like, could be on their way to doing things? Because Smiler could spit, and if he wanted to say something, he could say something.
But the relevance of someone like Wretch kind of hollering at Smiler, for me, this doesn't kind of compete in that same kind of pool. It's like the caliber of how you're perceived by the public is different. So for Wretch to call out someone like Smiler, it's like, look, even though he might be able to spit, it's not really doing Wretch any favour.
You still think that there are some names that could get called out in a situation like that, and I'm not saying that should happen. I'm not. I'm just saying it's going to be at a smaller level, but that's natural. It's not going to be the same as America.
No, I'm not even talking about America. I'm just talking about there's a bunch.
If it was at a smaller level, who do you think those people could be?
who that would get called out on a thing on a competitive thing.
Yeah.
If
you think was at that level.
If I was a spitter and I was doing a Kendrick Lamar, and that's what I was gonna do, I would mention Kano, I'd mention Sway, I'd mention Dizzy, I'd mention Tiny. What? Yeah, I just mention them because people look at them as if to say that they are the guys. So I'm letting them know I'm better than them. Yeah, because at the end of the day,
are you talking about spitters or you just talking about people that are famous?
I'm talking about
spitters.
I'm talking about spitters.
You think Tiny is a spitter, yeah? You think Dizzy's a spitter?
Yeah, but that's what
Tiny
Kendrick did though. Kendrick said
Tiny can spit though. He can spit. He's not dim though. Tiny is definitely not a dim rapper.
No, he's not. He's an intelligent rapper. He's not a spitter, bruv.
Nah, because I think you're judging some of the music that he makes.
No.
I agree with that one. He's not.
I'm talking about spitters.
Yeah, from my school of rap, he's not really a spitter. You know.
He's not a spitter, bruv. Dizzy's not a spitter.
Nah, Dizzy's a spitter.
No,
Dizzy's a spitter. No. Dizzy's a spitter. Bro, you can't say Dizzy is not a spitter. No, Dizzy's a spitter. Dizzy. Alright, I'll go with the Tiny thing, but not Dizzy. I'll go with the Tiny thing. Not Dizzy. No way. Dizzy's a spitter. Dizzy's a spitter. 100%.
We're talking. Hold on. We're trying to equate a scenario.
I understand what you're both saying.
I know what you mean.
We're trying to equate a scenario where we're talking about verses from Joe Budden and Papoose.
I know what you're trying to say.
And you're trying to throw Dizzy in there.
I know where you're trying to. No. I'm not comparing it to. I'm not comparing it to the rappers in America. I'm talking about over here.
Dugs is a spitter.
Yeah, please. Why people Gets is too much. For me, Gets is where
I'm getting to that. I'm getting up to that part here, but you cannot.
What you're saying about
you cannot exclude Dizzy from that.
Tony D, Lunacy. These guys will chew the face off all of these rappers.
I agree with that.
Pro will still chew the face off.
Yeah, Pro's in there. I'd call out Pro. But you can't dismiss Dizzy from that. Dizzy is an original spitter.
Because the first two albums,
Dizzy is an original spitter, bro. A
Original
barer.
This is how you know
He's
you
a
come from a
barer. No, bro. I come from the hip hop background. But Dizzy is a barer, though. There was a misunderstanding in where me and Snips and that was going with this whole thing, because when I was saying that, you know, as me as an artist, if I was an artist and I was going to do what Kendrick Lamar did and be calling out certain names, these are the names that I think that people consider as at the top of their game. Not me, people consider.
But Dizzy has not evolved because he's found success in other places, yeah? But the first two albums are so important in the evolution of how everybody spits in this country.
Exactly, and you know how everyone spits in this country? Not that well. Not that well.
We're still developing here.
No, but we're not though, because there are rappers who are way surpassed that. So it's the mainstream is developing, but there are still rappers out here that will fucking eat up most of these guys.
Yeah, but can they make records that people...
But we're not talking about records, we're talking about people just going at each other, just spitting.
The essence of...
I really don't think there's enough spitters in the UK for that to really work. I don't mean not enough spitters in the UK, because there are people that can spit. I'm talking about on a mainstream level. To really look at people who are actually out there with records like that are charting, like Rich and Pro Green are really the only people that can actually spit. So I don't really, it wouldn't make any sense. I wouldn't be interested to hear X amount of responses, because I don't think there's enough people that can do it. Do I think there's enough people that could do it on an underground level? Definitely. And I mentioned X amount of names that I think could do it, but on the mainstream level, nah. Rich and Pro, that's really it.
Crept and Conan would get called out. I know they're not on a massive level, but people are looking at them as barrers. They're definitely getting called out. Oh, Devlin. Yeah. Devlin would get some as well.
Oh man, you lot are just on a different flex.
Devlin!
Alright, cool. Wait. Who would be in your list? Hang on. Who would be in your list if that record was to be made here and it was a UK version?
I wanted to see people go in, right. Rich.
I agree.
Gets.
I agree.
Pro Green.
I agree.
Kano.
I agree.
Sway.
I agree.
Sway.
I agree.
Biggs.
No.
Klashnikov.
I love Biggs.
I
love Biggs.
Hold on. Let me finish. Go and listen to Biggs's.
No. Hold on a minute. I'm aware of Biggs's ability. Yeah. I think Biggs is a sick rapper. But if we're talking about the equivalent of
I'm
of
talking
the
about
names,
people that he's saying, who would you want to hear actually just bar off in a response?
Oh, fair enough.
Lunacy,
Chester
Tony
P.
D.
Chester P.
See, this is the thing. We could just bring up rappers from 5-6 years ago in the UK hip hop scene, but that would chew up.
I'm not talking about my. This is the thing. This is where we're getting our wires crossed. This is where we're getting our wires crossed. I'm not talking about my personal opinion on who I think is dope and I would like to go. No, who I would like to go against. I'm looking at more on what Kendrick was looking at as well, was people look at this person as great, that person is good, this person is great. I'm calling out those names. Whether I like them or not, that's just a reality.
Yeah, but then you're
people
just reading off the people that are
at
on top of their game. That's
it, exactly.
But that's what Kendrick did do.
That's exactly what
That's what he did. That's what he did.
Otherwise, he would have said Joel's or Joel.
Because he didn't say any of those guys' names.
But he didn't.
Yeah.
There's enough people that he would have mentioned if it was probably his own. He would have probably mentioned people in his own clique. But he's looking at people that are at the top of their game that people consider as the guy. I'm
That's the
letting
crazy
you know
thing.
I'm better than
The crazy
you.
thing is Kendrick ain't even the best in his clique.
That's exactly
know
why
he's not,
this
yeah, he's
wouldn't
not.
happen in the UK, because people who are part of the urban scene equate talent and mainstream success as two completely separate things.
Yeah.
You know, so the people that are selling the most records, so like the Wretch and the Pro Greens and the Tinies and the Chips and the whoever else, other people will look at them and be like, yeah, but they're not the best in their craft.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at
I don't
the
think
US,
so with Wretch. I think people.
okay, yeah,
is one of the
Wretch,
few that
yeah. I
I'm
completely
probably
agree with you.
not.
Yeah, I'm
But what I
pro.
mean is, over in the US, people will say, yeah, they're top of the game in talent and they're top of the game in terms of mainstream success.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's
a different
why we
ballgame
never
out there.
have
Because,
it over
but you know
here
what
in
it
the
is?
UK.
No, but people don't understand. People don't. I just don't feel like people understand the culture.
It doesn't make sense.
Understand the art and the craft.
Maybe
It doesn't
our
make
culture's
sense to
different,
be-
man. It's not the
the thing,
same
isn't
as
it?
That's what I mean. It doesn't
So
make
in that
sense
case,
to
then
be.
leave it alone. Stop trying to bread the culture if
If
you
you're
don't
trying to
understand
be
it.
aggressive with your peers, there's no point in doing that until you've developed to a certain level yourself.
Yeah,
when everyone in the UK is at that level, then they can start picking and calling people out and so and
But
so.
no, we won't get to that level because you've got idiots who will just buy into the whatever rapper talks about how many times he shot somebody.
Yeah, it's pretty weak
Like,
right
no-
now. I can't
no-
lie.
It's
pretty
a
weak.
fucking
It's
joke,
pretty
bro.
weak.
But
I
that's
just
hip
wanted
hop
to
in
die
general,
it.
though.
I just wanted to
I
stop.
think.
Nah,
I think it is hip hop in
die
general
out and
still.
rebuild.
I think the majority of people at the moment are still very much on not listening to lyrics right now.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's got there, but hey.
That's life. I'm not saying
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
happy
not-
with it.
Imagine that.
I'm not saying I'm
you're a
happy with
football
it.
fan and say, yeah, nah, I don't want to see no one with skill. I don't care if you can score.
What are you waiting for? Look, yeah, whatever. I know you watch these debates. I know you want to watch some more debates, so you might as well hit that fucking subscribe button. Yeah. Some of you might have a fucking problem with me swearing, but that's your fucking fault, not mine. So sort it out, just hit that fucking subscribe button. Thank you.
Basically, he thought that Kano was the wrong choice to play his role in Top Boy 2.
If he did say that,
So-
if he did
and then
say
he went on
that,
a
which
rant.
I need to see it myself, because I
Let
don't
me
know if he
finish.
did.
All right.
But I don't
Let
believe
me
he could have said
finish,
that.